Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. So this match, I specifically took out the IS-6 for one reason and one reason only. Because I love that tank. No, I'm just kidding. Because a lot of times you get to the in a position where your standard rounds, your premium rounds for that matter, won't pen any. You can't penetrate anything. It just the gun penetration for this tank definitely 100% needs to be buffed up. This tank has been so power crept. It's basically like a pile of trash compared to anything else out there. I mean, I can't think of really one tier 8 tank that's premium or tech tree that this thing would actually outperform. It's But anyways, neither here nor there. The purpose of this match was to really highlight the HE shell. Everybody knows the big controversy on what's going on with the HE shells, and I would be one of the people really pushing to hope they don't make any changes. And this match is going to be a prime example why, if they do uh, what they were planning on doing to the HE shells, this tank would just be not even playable. So we had a VK 101P in front of us. Great armor. Obviously, the premium round on this is what, two? Helps if I'm on the right tank. I'm like, whoa, did they buff that gun and I didn't know it? So, yeah, 186 for your standard. Yeah, that's a joke. And then 225 for your premium. That's a joke too. So 61 for your HE, which that's okay. I wish it were more, but hey, you deal with what you got in front of you. So the VK 101P, he had his front lower plate hidden, so the only place I could really shoot at that is his commander hatch, and that commander hatch is still not really a weak spot. We were able to pen it one time. We hit it for a good amount, 529. Wow, that was a really nice roll. But we also bounced off a couple times too, and he bounced off us a couple times. The Yag 88, where he was at, there was no way on God's green earth I was going to be able to pen him. I tried putting premium after premium after premium through him, and not a single one penned him. Now, I did 1,144 damage, but that was all with HE shells, and I shot him several times with HE shells. We ended up knocking out his fuel tank, tracking his gun. Bounced a couple of his rounds, and he got hit for 241 upon us. Was it spotting him? Huh. We originally spotted him in the RHM. RHM, we hit him two times for 767. Knocked out his gun and his gunner. And with the standard round, could have went through. Spitwell will go through the RHM, but I wasn't going to sit there and switch it because at that time the VK could have pulled out, and I would have rather have gotten shots at the VK because he was more of a threat. Even though the RHM's got a great gun, it's just the RHM is made out of toilet paper. So easier to knock the RHM out versus the VK, which the VK has got a great gun and it's got awesome armor. The Bat Chat, we took a shot at him real quick and just knocked off his track. Go figure. Somebody else finished him off, but we did bounce to his rounds for 170. But the big thing is on the Yag 88. Great armor. He's hauled down. I can't get a shot on his lower plate. So basically, well, let's just finish this off and then we'll bring it up. So he did second most damage at 2440, 513 experience. We had 17 shots, 16 hit, but it says only 4 pen because it was 4 pen and we penetrated 4 standard rounds, well, premium rounds, and the rest were HE. 6 HE shots into the Yag 88, and I've got 7 HE shells. I must have missed one because I thought I shot all in my HE. We got hit 10 times, 3 pen, 6 bounce, 1 as a splash damage, so somebody was shooting me with splash, HE, which that's why it says splash damage, because I don't think I got hit by any artillery. I think that actually might have been the VK 101P that hit me with a HE round. So you can see I was hauled down, couldn't pen my turret, so they resorted to shooting HE too. Kudos on him. That's what it's there for. So I blocked 1,530 damage. Spotted 2, damage 4, destroyed 0, damage with our assistance 241, and after all is said and done, we still made 44,000 883, but that's because I had a personal reserve popped. We made 105,000, but we did spend 53,000 on ammo. But I did shoot. I could have swore it was 7 HE shells, and the rest was premium. I do carry a couple standard rounds for this tank, but 7 because the standard rounds on this suck so bad. If you're top tier, you'll still bounce off stuff. The gun, the gun on this thing, 100% needs to be taken and bumped up. They power crap. It's worth a crap now. Now they need to fix it so it's worth a crap. I mean, you take the ISM and look at the gun on that. It's a 122 also, but it's got 212 standard, 240 premium. I mean, my premium shell is what? If I can find the damn tank. Oh, there it is. I think my premium is what, 212? 225. So not much more than his standard, and that's my premium. So anyways, back to the YAG 88. So let's get rid of our tier 9s off here. And YAG 88. Look at that. Oh, sparkly. Got the big old gun mantle, spaced armor around there. So all I was getting shots at were his superstructure here and here. So let's pop out of here. And now that I've got a cursor mouse, we can see all this lovely stuff. Let's go to Bookmarks and mobile and where is it? Oh, there it is. Now you guys saw all my shortcuts, all my links. Oh my God, the cat's out of the bag. No, I'm just kidding. So full list of tanks, tier 8, tank destroyer, 88, 43, 3D model. Alrighty, so I'm getting shots at this, 250. This is just straight on, not even angled. You angle it, he's got 252. I am not going through any of that. Either side, 253. Okay, it's 250, but 253 straight on. Spaced armor around the gunman. Look at that, 600, 500. I am not going through any of this at all. His upper plate, 194. Well, with the standard gun on the YAG 88, yeah, you got a chance of going through it. But let's switch this to, let's see, heavy tank. Now to find it, that's the fun part. IS, where is my IS6 FL? FL is the same tank. And then we'll go back to 3D model. So this is the IS6 gun. I'm even going to put it on my APCR. I have a 22% chance of going through that. That is not going to happen. I mean, obviously, it's not going to happen. His upper plate. Well, he had it pretty well hid, but there's still no way. That's 199. This is straight on. If he angled it at all, you know, you're looking at, I got about a 30%, if that, chance of going through there. His lower plate, straight on. I've only still got a 50%, not even that, 33%. Let's try and get it so it's. I'm trying to help the gun out here, and it's still not helping it. So straight on, 73% chance. So basically, you can see a chance in hell. I am not going through this when he's got this whole bottom half hidden. All I'm getting shots at are his superstructure. So I swap it over to HE. Now, obviously, it's going to say bounce, but it's going to hit and do splash damage. And that's where I was able to do all that damage to him, was with my HE shells, because my AP, obviously, and my APCR are not going to go through this thing. They buffed all these up. This standard round on this is 212, 237. I mean, his gun's still better than the one that's on the IS6. Obviously, you don't see anything over tier 9s in the IS6 and some of the premiums, thank goodness, because otherwise this gun, I mean, it's still, they did bump it up a little bit, 186. It used to be 175 on your standard. 225, I don't think they touched the premium round. I think it's always been about 225. But now they're looking at taking the HE shells and just turn them into a pile. I mean, if it weren't for those HE shells in this match, as you're going to see, and normally I'd show you the match and then the post game afterwards, but I'm showing it kind of backwards this time, just so I can explain why I'm showing this match to even, you know, why I'm even showing the match. That's why it's got a Band-Aid on it, because this thing needs to be fixed. That gun sucks ass so bad. I mean, the only real, like I said, I'm almost on my second mark on this, like really close. Where am I at right now? IS6, 79.33%. But I stopped playing it because it's just every time I take it out, there's defenders I cannot penetrate. There's, um, I mean, just you name it. You just name just about every tier 8 tank. It's just this thing cannot penetrate it. But anyway, so if you want to hold on to your hats, I will show you some gameplay of the IS-6 with the HE shell. That is the only reason I was able to do the damage to that YAG-88 that I did. And they're thinking of making it to where those shells are worthless. And you'll see, when I was hitting him, it's not like I was doing, the HE shell says it can do up to 530 damage. I mean, I was hitting him for 90, 80. I was chipping away at him. But the fact is, I could chip away at him and do a little bit of damage each time I hit him. If they do what they're planning on doing to those HE shells, I'd be hitting them for 10, 15. I mean, it's not. I'd be better off just not even shooting at them. I mean, why waste the ammo? But anyways, yeah, if you want to hold on for a minute, I'll go ahead and have some gameplay for you, and just kind of pay attention and I'll tell you when I swap it over to the HE shells, but you'll obviously see it's mainly when I'm started just bouncing shot after shot at the YAG-88 in front of me. Now that I think about it, let's look just real quick. I want to see how much he did bounce. He had to have bounced a ton. I mean, just a ton. Well, he did nope, barely any damage. Yeah, 3,060 damage. He was hit 15 times and only got penetrated twice. None pen, so 7. Received a splash damage. That was me. All 6 of those was me shooting him with my HE shells. So, yeah, I just pray that they don't do what they're planning on doing to the HE. I understand that they're doing testing and it's in this third iteration and they're still contemplating what they're going to do. But the last iteration that they had, oh my goodness, if they were to have swapped them over and made the changes at that point, oh wow, yeah, bad news for anything with HE shells. So I'm hoping in a way they just don't even touch it. They don't need, my mom and dad always told me when I was a kid, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Well, there's nothing wrong with the HE shells. No one's complained about it. I mean, maybe artillery people have because, it doesn't penetrate worth a crap when you're shooting something even from the roof. But the simple fact is, there was nothing wrong with it. I don't understand why would you mess with something? That'd be like me going and popping the hood on a brand new Corvette and start rebuilding the engine. Well, why? There was nothing wrong with it to begin with, and that's what they're doing. They're taking an HE shell, which there was nothing wrong. I've never had an issue with it. I mean, I understand what it's there for, and it's exactly in this match why it's there. And it's not like I was hitting them for 400 damage. I mean, if I were hitting them for 530 average damage every time I hit them with an HE shell, I would say, yeah, there's an issue with the HE. But when I'm hitting them for 90, 80, 112, yeah, there's not an issue with it. Basically, that was the only way I was able to do any damage to them. Just leave the HE shells alone. But anyways, here we go. Just hold on and we'll show you that match. So I'll be right back, guys. Alrighty, just real quick too. I want to go through battle hits just to show you kind of what happened here. So, thank goodness for them taking away friendly fire. I'd have been dead for my own team. I'm not joking. You'll see what I'm talking about. So, this is the hits against me. So the YAG-88, I had a great angle where I was setting. So, and I was only showing my upper plate and my turret. So they couldn't even get shots at my lower plate. So the YAG-88, AP round, bounce. VK off the side of my turret, bounce. Scorpion G on my team. This is my team. In the back of the turret. Thank goodness for team damage being shut off because right next shot they hit me, the SU-130 PM from my own team in the back of my turret. And it wasn't like I was jerking, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I would just literally pull out, shoot, back up, reload, pull out, shoot, back up, rinse and repeat. So, I mean, basically, it's literally, I can understand if you see the people that'll wiggle back and forth, wiggle, 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 and you don't know when they're going to actually lurch forward and take a shot. Well, I wasn't doing that just for the simple fact that I knew those guys were back there. And, well, I guess it didn't make a difference. So, YAG-88, at that, it is still a pretty good angle, and it's still pretty thick there. And he bounced, which I was kind of surprised it did bounce on that one. VK, side of the turret again, bounced. VK, this time he went through the roof of my turret, and he actually did do damage. RHM hit me in the side there with an HE shell, 388. He got a pretty good roll, but again, that's kind of a weak spot at that angle. So I would expect if an HE shell penetrated me there, it's going to do a pretty good amount of damage. Bad Chat, he was coming in. He just took a couple clutch shots straight on. So, yeah, that's going to bounce. Hit me in the track, knock my track off, bounce basically. And then the VK101P moved in and he got a good shot there for 535 and finished me off. Now, these are my shots into the enemy team. So Yag88 on his superstructure. That's all I could get shots at were here, here. Obviously, you're not going to waste shots at his gun mantle because it's going to bounce. And there's no commander's hatch, really weak spot to speak of. So the only spots I had to shoot at him are right here on the gun, on the main superstructure, and over here. So I bounced an APCR, hit him again. Actually, this hit his gun and then it hit the superstructure. Still did not penetrate. Yag88, once again, superstructure, bounced. So by the fourth shot, I got sick and tired of bouncing. I thought, okay, time to start hitting him with HE because I know at least I can do some damage. This was the highest roll I got with the HE, which I was kind of surprised that even hit for that much, which 204, I was like, wow, cool. So I hit him for 204, 127, 122, but that one was on the VK. So I hit him those two times in the Yag88. Then I hit the BK101P for 122. So you can see it's not like I'm doing 400 or 500 damage consistently. The best roll I got was 204. I hit the Yag88 with an APCR round because I saw that he was going to try shooting across, and I was switching between rounds, and I got loaded in time to get a APCR shot into a side for 410. And then you can see, once again, now I'm on the other side because he moved. In APCR, not going to go through a superstructure, so then I swap over to HE, 163 on his superstructure, 157, 83 on his lower plate. Well, I finally got a shot at his lower plate, but I was already preloaded with a HE shell. So that, I wish I would have an AP shell loaded, so it can bite you in the butt too. You know, where I wasn't penetrating him at all when I could have penetrated him with an APCR around his lower plate. I already had an HE shell loaded, so, well, oh well. RHM had a APCR loaded for 415. BK, I was aiming for his commander's hatch right here. And even at that range, the gun on the IS-6 is just very inaccurate. APCR round into the... Oh, that's kind of a cool looking track setup. I never kind of saw it that close up. That's why it digs around so good. It's got, oh, look at the teeth on that track. But all he did is knock his track off there. VK, we finally actually hit him in the commander's hatch and finally put one through for 407. And then the RHM pulled out and I hit him in the side, and then the VK finished me off. But as you can see, those HE shells, I mean, that's the best roll I got was for 204, and then 127, 122, 163, 157, 83. So why do they want to change this? There's no, in my mind at least, there's not an issue with the HE shells. And I don't really ever hear anybody complaining when you shoot them with an HE shell. Now, if you're shooting them with APCR, and I would have been penning them all day long, I guarantee I'd have probably got a message after the match said, you're a gold slinging piece of shit. You know, but the gun on the IS-6 just blows. But anywho, so yeah, if you want to hold on for a minute, we will now go ahead and do the gameplay so you can kind of see it in action, so you can see where I was and why I did what I did, and so on and so forth. So if you want to hold on, I will be right back, folks. Alrighty, so here we are in Studensky, and let me check one thing real quick, guys. I don't want it to blow our ears out. Yep, good. I already did it. I've been getting better about turning the volume down, but I was waiting for the match to start, and usually the tanks are so loud it pop your eardrums. So, pause it real quick again. Looking at our team lineup, I was like, wow, a lot of tank destroyers. More than likely, they're going to be setting along this ridge, going over here where they got stuff to hide behind, or setting way back here somewhere. So where do I go? It's an all tier 8 match, so it's not like I got to go hide somewhere and snipe, which with the IS-6 sniping ain't happening. Accuracy of this gun blows, penetration blows. The whole tank has just been power crept to death. So I figured my best bet is to go over here to the kind of northwest where I'm setting northwest basically, and that way I've got closer shots. I'm not trying to aim 3 miles away. Easier to hit my targets. So that's what my plan was. I was contemplating going over to the south side over here, working my way through, and you can see me kind of turn for a second there, and then I thought twice because with all those tank destroyers, I just knew that with all these trees and this line of bushes along here, they were just going to be sitting there like crazy, and I was probably just going to get annihilated once I got spotted. So I just figured my best bet is in a heavy tank to be the one to push and kind of try and hold them back in this building over here. And there's a nice spot, and I get right up into it because where the Scorpion is setting, the problem with that position is you can get shot from up here. I don't know if you can see it. Well, yeah, you can see it through the right here. So I figured since he isn't taking it, we'll take the spot right here. And right off the bat, YAG-88, superstructure, bounce. This is an awesome spot for the IS-6 for this map. Well, actually for any heavy tank. Again, superstructure, YAG-88, we bounce again. And bounce again. So that's 3 shots in a row that I've bounced. So now I'm like, the hell with it, I'm going to start shooting HE. And this is the full reason why I hope they don't mess with HE. That was a nice roll, 204. Yeah, I'm not going to complain, but that's the best roll we got. RNG was not my fan favorite today for HE shell damage. The only area that I was worried about getting shot is if Artie can get a shot through this building, which they can. I know they can hit me here. I've hit people here, but you've got to know to be able to that you can actually use the secondary view, and you can actually put a shell right through that hole in the roof there and pound people that are sitting here. But they didn't know, so of course I'm gonna try and use that to my advantage. Now we've got an HE shell loaded already, so I went ahead and pulled the trigger. We only did 122 damage to the VK-01P, but otherwise I'd probably just be bouncing. Because that thing's got one thick turret. The only place I'm going to be able to penetrate it is at Commander's Cupola. And you can tell he ain't stupid, he's keeping it hid. So you can see, even if I do hit it, it doesn't pen all the time. And actually where I shot and where that round actually hit were two different things anyways. And boom, boom, that's what I was telling you about. I pulled out to get a shot at the YAG-88, and I got hit by the SU-130 PM and the Scorpion sitting back there. So, yeah, that's why I'm glad team damage is off, because that right there would have probably, I'd have been close to dead. It's not like I pulled out and on purpose to block their shots, but, they're sitting so far back, it's not like I know when they're going to be loaded and that, what they're aiming at. So that's an APCR round bounces again, so now we're loading the HE shells. But that's why I'm so glad team damage is off, because that would have definitely messed me up if it didn't ammo rack me. So we hit the YAG-88, he bounces off me. We put a shell in for 157, the VK-101P bounces off of us. Now I'm not worried about. So I took off his track, and then I figured, well, I better back up a little more so I don't get shot again, and hopefully they'll take him out. But unfortunately, the VK-101P is able to put one right through our. I'm gonna see. Oh, it's not gonna let me back up while I'm paused. Well, he put it right through here, I think. Either that or through the commander's hatch. I thought it was right through this angled piece right there, but it looks like he actually went right through the commander's hatch there. But anyways, I just kind of wanted to see where it hit. And then the RHM is there. We take a shot at him, hitting for 415. He hits us with an HE for 388. Now I'm starting to get down on health here. I'm down to 786 hit points, so I got to really start watching what's going on, because I wanted to be around towards the end of this match to, have some hit points left to help my team. But we take a shot, and he wiggled back and forth, and we completely missed his commander's hatch. I think it actually hit near it, but not near it enough. The reason I'm aiming right there is I thought that the RHM was going to pop right in there, come around the building and put a shell through me that way. So he didn't, but I take a quick clutch shot at the bat chat, which with this gun is just not a good idea. But lo and behold, those 2 tank destroyers sitting back there, thank goodness, we're able to finish him off. I was trying to get a shot into the VK's commander's hatch, which we do for 407, but you can see the aim time on this is so painfully long, and then you don't really reap any rewards with this gun half the time, because most of the time you shoot, your rounds just completely miss, or you aim at one spot and it hits the spot you're not aiming for. But VK ends up taking us out. I popped out just enough, and you can see he was pre-aimed, and he hit me right here. So kudos on the VK. It was good play on his part. We go on to get our butts stomped. So yeah, good match against us at the enemy team. Or good for them. They did a good job. They did have a way better team than us. But yeah, you can't win them all. Can't lose them all. Sometimes it feels like you lose them all, but yeah, so that's why I'm hoping they don't mess with the HE shells, because as you could see with the shells, if I were hitting that YAG-88 with what they were planning on doing, I'd have been hitting for 20, 10, 15 if I'm lucky. So yeah, I really hope they don't mess with them. Or if they do, just leave them the way they are, or buff them up a little bit. Don't make them worse than they are, because they're right now there's nothing wrong with them. They're perfect the way they are. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this match, and yeah, I actually sent World of Tanks a message, again, to their developers, and just I said, please don't mess with HE shells. There's nothing wrong with them, and you guys might want to do the same thing. Obviously, to each their own. You could say I don't give a rat's butt, but I just hate it when they mess with something that's not broken. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So I just wish they would leave the HE shells the way they are. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this match about the HE shells. Like I said, we go on to lose this, and it's not even worth watching. But if you could, please click the like button down below and subscribe to the channel. You guys take it easy, be safe, and I will see you on the battlefield.